So, have you done any shoots recently?
Yeah, for about 3 years I was doing mostly narrations, but somehow this week I had a few actually. I had a modeling gig for the first time in a while. And
I like how Japanese people like to comment on the way people look. Like, it seems like totally fine to say anything, just comment.
It's true, they're very open here. I'm pretty used to that now, but it's like, people comment very like, oh, you gained weight, or or oh, you have a small head.
Yeah.
Do you get that you have a small
they
head?
love that. It's interesting, the different standards. Like, I have a really small head according to Japanese people.
And I guess we're used to that now, but at first, weren't you shocked?
Yeah. Oh, it's small face, small face. Head. Yeah,
I was very confused. I think a lot of people are confused by that.
Yeah.
Because we don't notice that in America, right?
Yeah, and that's not... it's considered like beautiful.
It's neither. It's not there. You have a small face, therefore you're beautiful. You don't think of it in terms of that.
But there are some things where they think that are beautiful, where it's totally opposite in America, like the big nose.
Yeah.
We say big nose in America.
Well,
we say tall nose.
They mean this.
They mean
is
it
like
sticks out
there.
They like that. but it's not.
But again,
I don't like that.
It's neither. Yeah, it's not a bad thing, but it's also not necessarily a good thing.
In general, I thought it's generally kind of a bad bad thing, but like something not,
a lot of people
appreciated.
A lot of people want to reduce the size of their noses in general.
Yeah.
So I think it's because there's a percentage of people with larger noses that it's more common to get a reduction in nose size.
So I can never get a reduction while I'm here, right? That's just not going to happen. No one knows how to do that here.
We can add to it.
Yeah. And then people would comment on my skin being really white.
White, yeah. Whereas, especially from California.
Yeah, in California, you want to have...
tan.
Is that still a thing? I think that's still a thing. People still want to...
I think not as much. Definitely in the 80s and 90s, it was all about being tan. But I think people wised up to it because it's not good for you.
Yeah. Okay, so it's evening out then.
I think. But I think it's okay. I think the beauty of the Snow White look is also considered beautiful now.
Yeah.
In America, too. I think. But I haven't lived there in a long time. So
there's another one, too, though. The eyes, like, I don't get the slanted. Sometimes every once in a while I'll get like, oh, your eyes are slanted down. Which looks great, and to me that does not look good. But the double lid thing. Have you heard of that? What is that called? They like how
there's double lid surgery, or there's just the tape that you can put in to try to get a crease. But I thought that was really strange.
I never noticed that before, and I was teaching English, and they were like, "Oh, you have a double lid that looks great." I'm like, they really tried hard to explain that. I didn't even understand.
It's just the crease that happens when you open your eye.
Yeah. Okay.
But
so
I guess they're different shapes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because some Japanese people have that and some don't.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't, and it just, to me, it just looks like
I've never noticed
a normal, like an eye, on an Asian face.
It's not something you pay attention to.
And this too, this is a thing. I wonder why there's this. What is it? The epicanthal fold. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's this thing here.
You can see some of the inside of that. Yeah. So they like that or don't?
Well, actually, I don't.
People like that?
I don't know. I'm wondering. Yeah, because I actually don't hear that as a thing. But if people care about this, then why not care about that?
Yeah, that's one I don't like this. Yeah, I would prefer to do something about this.
Well, what's wrong with that? It's just an eye. It's just an eye. I've never cared about creases or this or the slant, but just the color of their, like in America, people have different colored eyes.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
It's like, oh, your eyes are blue, or oh, your eyes are brown. Oh, you have pretty hazel eyes.
Yeah.
But in Japan, you kind of forget about that because
you're going to be different anyway. Yeah.
In fact, I forgot until yesterday. I didn't forget that I have blue eyes, but it's just not on my mind.
They look kind of green to me.
They're kind of, I guess they're grayish, bluish.
Yeah, but someone said something about that?
Well, yeah, they're like, oh, me kirei, like, oh, aoi desu ka? Like, oh, the makeup artist was saying, wow, the color of your eyes is pretty. And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess they are blue.
Yeah, you forget how you appear to people.
Yeah, because here it's not, people don't comment on eye color.
And it's actually, that's not necessarily something that's good or bad to comment on, but commenting on someone's appearance in America, it's kind of like
it can be rude.
Yeah. It's a lot of times it's a very delicate topic.
Well, yeah, because you don't know if if that's going to be something that they're happy about or not.
Yeah, and
like,
it's nothing they can do about it, right?
Especially like, oh, you gained a little weight.
That's
like,
so common in
We
Japan.
wouldn't say to a friend, yeah, like if you've seen them after a few years.
Would never
oh,
say
you
that.
put on a little weight, didn't you?
Yeah, you would never say that. But I'm surprised it's not considered rude in Japan.
Yeah, it's just
maybe,
sort of
I feel like maybe it is considered rude, but it's just something people tolerate from each other. No one would like to hear that, whether they're in Japan or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy enough to point that out to your friends. Like,
yeah.
I think there's a point where it's too much being careful.
Yeah.
We're just like so afraid to say anything.
That's true. In America, people sometimes get too scared about doing and saying the right thing.
And I think in that way, I mean, there are a ton, no pun intended, of overweight people, in America. So I think if people are so afraid and they reinforce that, oh, don't say anything about people's weight, then maybe it just sort of, it's too okay to be overweight in a very unhealthy way.
I get that impression too. Yeah, like they get too scared to say anything, and that's the point. Maybe at some point we should say something.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's some lines that should be crossed.
I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying you should say things in a mean way, like, oh, you get fat. Like, don't be rude.
But acknowledge.
But, like, what I mean is, like, it's a lighthearted way in Japan of saying, like, futotta!
Yeah.
Like, if we could do that in English and have it not be received as so damaging or just such that means you hate me as a person. It's like, no, like, I would rather just... I mean, people comment to me too, like, hey, yaseta, like, oh, did you lose weight? Mm-hmm. Which I shouldn't lose weight, because, like, I shouldn't lose more weight. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, no, I just look, it's just because I'm getting older and my face looks thinner. like
it's hard to talk about, yeah.
Just skeletal because of age. No, but I mean, to be able to joke about it, I think is a good thing. Like, to that what do you call it?
Self-awareness, right?
Well, self-awareness and like self-ridicule.
Mm-hmm.
Just poke fun at yourself a little bit and not make it such a big deal.
Yeah. As
I think Americans tend to.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Are you saying that I'm not worthy anymore because I gained 5 pounds? It's like, no, I was just...
It's just obvious, you know? Or like, not just the weight thing, but any feature of yourself too should be okay to comment on. So, but I was really surprised with all the commenting when it came to
There is definitely a lot more here, open.
Body image commenting.
Yeah. What else was it? Like, I don't know. But also, I think what I was confused about too is, like if I were to say, oh, I'm 25, and then a Japanese person would say, wakai. Like, are you being surprised that I'm 25 because you think I look older?
Or
are you saying,
or just being nice, say, oh, you're so young.
I'm still not quite sure how to take like, oh, wow, you're so young. Like, you're young for your age. Or like, oh, it's nice to be so young.
I've always
But if it's from a younger person saying like, oh, I thought you were younger? Then shouldn't you say, sonnani? Or like,
there's a lot of backhanded compliments.
Sonnani ue to omonakatta.
Yeah.
I would understand that a little bit more. But if it's just like, hey, wakai. It's like, are you just saying that?
Yeah.
As a standard reaction?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Sometimes
sense.
It's like, it's a very standard reaction, a standard response that people have agreed to say to each other.
Right. What else? So the white skin.
It sounds really passive aggressive in America, but it's just standard.
What are some similarities, though? I think big eyes are generally cute no matter where you go.
Yeah.
People like that doll look.
Yeah.
The jawline is another difference. People don't tend to like... I was so surprised, guys and girls. When I first came to Japan, I lived in a guest house, and one of my housemates was a Japanese guy. And he was this gorgeous guy. Like, he looked like... I don't know, some J-pop guy, from my view. It was like, oh, like, just, like, some hot guy lives there. And he had a jaw, like a sort of chiseled look that we would consider generally attractive, I think. Mm-hmm. But he hated it. And he said, no, I want to shave my jawbone off. He said, I want to get surgery so that from my ear to my chin is a straight line.
Does that happen?
It's like, what?
In Japan,
it's a thing, apparently.
Oh.
I think it's more Korea, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I think they get it from
Sounds
K-pop.
vaguely familiar. It's interesting,
But
yeah.
I thought that was so weird, and he was serious. He's like, no, I hate this line here that you can see.
Yeah.
And I thought, isn't, like, if anything, isn't that
the best?
nice? Like, that's kind of handsome, I thought.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I hate it.
Yeah.
And he had this complex about it.
Wow, interesting. Yeah.
I also noticed, like, guys plucking their eyebrows, and that I never see that in America.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They like to trim.
And I've even seen, like, the brow liner for guys, too.
Oh.
Like, eyebrow liner.
I think there's more guys wearing makeup, like overtly made up faces in advertisements these days.
Oh, okay.
On the train, they'll see like full on
Makeup on like
makeup on guys, but in a manly presentation.
A man makeup.
Yeah, they're not trying to say, it's not in a way like, there's nothing like gay or trans vibey about it. It's just a man with makeup on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I guess in America, I don't know, what is it in America? Beards. Are beards in for guys?
Yeah, at least a few years ago they were a big thing.
The lumberjack
The
trend?
millennial beard was. I
might be 10 years late, but yeah.
No. I want to talk about the whole millennial thing. And that phrase later at another day, another time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about.
But anyway, beauty trends. It's the moral of the story is, I think a lot of it is you want what you don't have.
Yeah.
So it's like hair too. Mm-hmm. It's like, if you have curly hair,
you want straight hair.
You want straight hair. If you have straight hair, you want curly hair.
Mm-hmm. The moral of the story.
Moral of the story is you can never. Moral of the story is, I guess, be lighthearted about it. Why not?
Yeah.
Everybody has a different body, different hair, different face. Yeah. And I think what you find attractive is not always standard anyway.
Yeah. And it will change in 5-10 years.
Yeah. I think what's attractive is a beautiful smile.
Yeah.
And a good heart.
Yeah.
And twinkly
Have
eyes.
you noticed that? Like when you see someone who's not necessarily attractive, maybe even unattractive, and then you get to know them and they become so attractive.
Yeah.
And the opposite too. Someone who looks so attractive and then you get to know them, they start to look really bad.
If they show like a really mean side, then you think, wow, that like
Whoa.
I'm completely not attracted to anymore.
Yeah.
Just boo.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely the opposite happens a lot. That's pure psychology right there.
Yep.
Yeah, like or a nice voice or something, for example.
Yeah.
That can override.
You'd be surprised how much someone's voice and the sound and the tone and the tenor can change how they look. It's crazy.
It does. It's true.
Yeah. I gotta work on my voice.
No.
I mean, just like make it smoother.
Smoother.
Just do some touch up.
That's a funny thing. Yeah. I guess it counts as far as attraction. But I have a pretty low voice, and I was actually self-conscious about that for a long time.
Oh.
I thought it was too masculine or something.
Oh.
And I think actually in elementary school somebody teased me, and they said, "Ha, you sound like a boy."
That's where
yeah.
But
I guess so. But I always noticed it anyway, because I always noticed girls around me would generally have a higher pitched tone, especially in Japan, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a sort of affected.
High pitch.
Hi, konnichiwa, otsukaresamashita.
Yeah.
And it's like, how and why do you do that? I could do that, but it would sound very fake.
Yeah.
I just notice it because I'm a musician, I just automatically notice pitches.
Yeah.
And I'm usually far below the average woman.
But I think a lot of people like the husky voice.
But I was going to say, so I've been doing narration work, which I've mentioned in the last 4 videos. Not trying to promote myself, which is what I do. It's been great for narration because I found my niche in that sort of serious in tone.
It's a smooth, calming, deep voice that
the eco-friendly cars of today are like nothing. I really smooth. I milk that smooth, low voice. It's too husky right now because I've been recovering from a sinus problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, the moral of the story is things that you don't like about yourself necessarily can come back and be a benefit.
It's a treasure.
It can be a treasure. I am eating because I have a low voice that sounds like I do. And maybe
puts food on the table.
And my droopy eyes and large nose compared to my face.
Gives you what you need.
So enjoy what you have.
Yay.
You're all beautiful. You're all beautiful. And you're loved. Just because you're not traditionally beautiful, someone loves you.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodbye.